Okay, we're over on Facebook. We're good to go. Yeah, there we go. All right. How's everyone tonight? Bob is back. Tuesday night, I thought we'd do one of those true Canadian biker crime stories. Just revisit an old story from the past and have a laugh talking about it. See if things have changed since then or if they have not. Hey, good evening, Vanguard Prospect Mike. Good to meet you, bro. I don't think I've seen you on the chat before. Thanks for dropping in. I much appreciate it. Everyone's always welcome to come on up on the chat. Give me some pointers. Help me out if you happen to know the story. I don't mind that. Give me some suggestions for another story that you'd like to see me cover and all that good stuff. Or just say hi. What the hell? It's all the same. So before we get started, remind everyone, so I got a notice from Amazon, and some of my books are sold on Amazon. So get your copy on Amazon. It's called One Night at the Playpen. It's a book about my time in one of the big 1% motorcycle clubs in the world up here in Canada. It takes place from, mid-90s through into the early 2000s. And it's all from my perspective and how I saw it, my experiences. And of course, the names have been changed for obvious reasons. So get that book, One Night at the Playpen, or contact me and I will send you a signed copy. I'll make it out to you and I'll pop it in the mail and away it goes. And if you like, we can do a 2-for deal. And or you can just get the patch by itself. I've also got these here. Let me get this the last one off of the screen for a second. I'll put it back up there in a minute. Jay, thanks for coming along, by the way. I've got these cool little patches. They measure about 4.5 inches or so across, something like that. Get them with the book, and I'll throw them in with the book for like $5. If not, I gotta actually get like $15 out of them to cover postage and all that, unfortunately for the patch, but they're cool. And I have sold a few of them. I keep forgetting to mention them in my shows, and I should. All right, so let's go back through the chat here real quick. Jay, thanks for joining us, brother. I appreciate it. Angel Face Moto Rider, thank you for dropping in. I don't think I've met you before in the chat, although I think I've seen you leave comments before. Hook Dog, good to see you, bro. Long time. And you guys are saying hi. Hit the like, sub, and share. Thank you for that, Vanguard Prospect Mike. I appreciate that. Everyone, what he said, it's good advice. It costs you nothing, and it helps out the channel immensely. We're getting there. It's getting cold now, Hook Dog. There's not going to be too many more, like where you want to get out on the highway and go for 2-3 hours days. There's not going to be too many more of them. George, my dog, has got to say hi every show. Come on, buddy. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. CJ, thank you for joining us tonight. And Mark as well. Thank you, bro. Always a pleasure. And you have been in a few of my lives. Well, thank you again. Oh, that's right. I do recall chatting with you in the chat before. You're right. All right. So where are we? Tonight, like I said, I wanted to revisit. Oh, and I got one more thing I got to show you guys real quick. The shirt. So this is, if you happen to enjoy the number 420 and you happen to live in London, Ontario, Google TKO deliveries or friendly delivery and make yourself an account and bim, bam, boom. Next thing you know, you're going to have someone pleasant knocking at your door with a nice package for you. So check it out, friendlydelivery.ca. Who else we got? Hook Dog. 91 in Cali. Oh, sucks, eh? Are you a Canadian rider as well? So yeah, I'm in between bikes right now. Unfortunately, I spent, like I say, from the book, I spent 5 years as a patched up member as one of the bigger clubs in the world. And I've since left the club scene. And so now I thought I would do this channel to show people the good stuff that bikers do. So this isn't one of my normal shows my normal shows during riding season. I let everyone know where the biker parties are going to be, and, and bike ride, like a bike nights and stuff like that, and charity events. And Thursday, I interview people from all sorts of different clubs and different aspects of the biker community. So this Thursday, I've actually got a lady from, she's a, in Calgary, right on. I think you might have mentioned it. Are you guys getting cold out there yet? Usually gets, and hey, Wayne, did you get your book, bro? It's on its way if you didn't get it yet, brother. It got sent last week. I just can't remember what day last week, but it went out last week, man. So it's coming to you, bro. What was I gonna say? Oh, Mark, nice shirt. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. So that is the company. Like I say, if you happen to be in London, friendlydelivery.ca and check out TKO. So yeah, so next year the plan is get back on two wheels and get going away from where I live, which is London, Ontario, and and uh, and get to these bike nights and do lives from the events, and then go to an event every weekend and all that cool stuff. Red Rider from Pennington is flying this week before the Forgotten Ages Mall Compound. Is that the red-haired girl who works on her own bike in BC? Or is that the girl from Calgary who's involved with Biker Down Society? Is that what it's called? Because if it's a girl from Calgary who does the Biker Down thing, she's actually been on here for an interview. And she's a wicked cool person. Okay, so you're talking about the girl in BC who wrenches on her own bike. I've followed her a little bit, and I've actually tried to get her up for an interview, but I haven't had any luck with that. But yeah, she does good videos, and she's got lots of content. And I think I just get the vibe that she's somehow, maybe her old man's in the club or something, but I think that she's got some sort of connection to 81. Steve Selway, my old friend, good to see you, bro. Oh, the book, bro. Book, Cook Dog. It's about the time when I was in the club here in Canada. And, oh, you guys don't have any chapters of this club in Cali, but it's an international club. It's one of the big threes. I was part of that stuff all back in the day. And it covers my time in the club and the things I did and things I've been to court and got convicted of and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool book, right? It's went to England, went to Bike Week, went here, went there, did this, did that. It was quite a trip. I loved every minute of being a biker, man. It's probably the best times in my life, man. Okay, so let's get into this Wawa craziness. This story goes way back to 1983. So this is, before all my time in the club and all that. And it happens up in northern Ontario, north of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. It's on the way to go north towards Thunder Bay around Lake Superior. Way the heck up there. Oh, her dad. Okay. And I kind of thought maybe that's why she hasn't responded yet to an interview request because of the club I used to be in. But I don't carry the club thing with me anymore. I'm more than happy to speak to anybody. That the club stuff was 25 years ago. I've got no opinion. In fact, I like all clubs. That's what I'm doing this for now, is to show the good side of clubs, right? And she stays neutral 100% in all of her videos. I just always had that vibe because I'm an ex-club guy, so I kind of can pick it out. So way back, way the hell up north, like we're talking the highways that the highway kind of goes on the coast of Lake Superior there on its way north, and there's either pine trees beside you or there's rock cuts beside you. It's one of them highways. Woo! And they're on the way up north. It happened one weekend. The Outlaws had a chapter at the time in Sault Ste. Marie, and they had some guys up at the clubhouse from down south, which is up in the sea you consider down south, like Toronto and St. Catharines and all that stuff, right? So you got it, Mark. So So there just happened to be a fair amount of outlaws in town that day. Now, this is the story I got, and then we'll go over the press's version of the story or Wikipedia's or whatever I found. But the story I got, I can't name names for obvious reasons, was a couple guys who were friends of the club, two brothers. They lived in one of the small highway towns north of Sault Ste. Marie, and they saw the Greyhound go by, and somebody caught a glimpse of the death head in one of the bus windows. The death head being from the 81 patch. So they're like, huh. And it was like, I think it was middle of the night sort of thing, right? So these guys have been giving her, probably a little bit of partying and some drinking and, other things that go along with it in the biker clubhouse, right? I don't know if you know what I mean. But but anyway, so these guys come back to the clubhouse and they say, Jesus, we saw the bus go by and I think there's some 81s and what the hell? And so these guys dropped everything, said, well, let's go. So they threw some gear in the car, some bang bangs and some pew pews in the car, and away they went. So they finally caught up to the bus about an hour drive up north of Sault Ste. Marie. Hi, Gary. How are you, bro? You're just getting in for the story. I haven't told too much of it yet. So it's a car full of outlaws and supporters and whatnots, maybe even two cars. Who the hell knows, right? They're flying up this Highway 17, which is the Trans-Canada Highway, which is one of the only ways to get from Ontario to the Prairie provinces. Hey, Cal, how are you, bro? And the bus had stopped at some donut shop. Actually, I found the name of the donut shop, if it really matters. But let's try to be. What was that thing called? It was a funny name of a. It just kind of made sense to call the place Mr. Muggs or some shit like that. Yeah, Mr. Muggs Coffee Shop. So that's where the Greyhound bus had stopped. Let some people go buy some caffeine, maybe take a pee break, whatever the case is, as Greyhounds do. If you've ever taken one. And so the bus is sitting there. The car comes wheeling in. An unknown amount of guys come jumping out, and all of a sudden the lead's in the air and mayhem's going off, right? It's like, what the Christ? Now, I think as it turns out, Canada eats more fucking donuts per capita than the Americans do, bro. I think I saw that in a story the other day. So yeah, so mayhem ensues, as it would, right? The guys who came up in the cars, the outlaw dudes, and their friends and whatever, they don't know if they hit nothing. They think that it's mission accomplished. They jump back in the cars and they tear the hell out of there back to Sault Ste. Marie to the clubhouse. So, oh, thank you. Oh, you want to talking to Kel? Okay. And yeah, so as it turned out, the only injuries on the bus side of the world were some people got hit with some broken glass, maybe, and stuff like that. So thankfully, nobody got shot and killed. Thankfully, because that means that nobody had to do a life bit, and thankfully because nobody lost their life. Oh, that was the one part about being in the club. I don't understand how back then I thought nothing of. Well, if it comes down to got to stand up and take one for the club, I'm willing to. Jesus Christ. You're not Cal, what you gotta do. So so out of all that hubbubaloo, the angels made their way through. Now I keep reading in Wikipedia's and in Chat GTP that the angels were coming from Montreal to BC to patch in some Satan's Choice. That doesn't make sense, that storyline, because back then the Choice weren't ready to be patched into the 81 at that point. They were they were friendly. The Cubs were friendly. They might have even did runs together and shit like that. But they weren't quite there yet to turn it over and whatnot. That didn't come till 2000, right? So, and who cares? Who knows what the reason is they were on their way to BC? Maybe they're just on their way to go and hang out and party with their BC brothers. Apparently, they decided to take the bus because they thought it would be incognito. As it turned out, something of their clothing, maybe even their patch, probably rolled it up and put his head against the window for a nap or something in the middle of the night in the highway, right? So somebody recognized it and came back and 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 away they went. And as it all turned out, there's one guy, and his name was in the press and all that. So I'm not telling secrets here. The one guy, they called him the Wop. He ended up doing 5 years out of the whole thing. So he ended up getting a penitentiary bit out of it, and the federal record that comes with it and all that. So you got to know that the guys even back then they were down for the business, right? They were down for the business, whatever it was, and consequences be damned, right? People kind of don't think the same way anymore, and I know firsthand from reading disclosure of people who told on me when they're sitting in that police station, they just say what they need to get them out of the story, right? so so that blows me away that she's flying all the way to Florida again via demo. She should have went down to the Biketoberfest. That one looked good. So yeah, so that's the story. Two guys on a Greyhound bus from the 81, minding their own business in the middle of the night, going through Northern Ontario. Bunch of people from the Outlaws happened to be around the Sault Ste. Marie at the time, because Wap wasn't from the Sault Ste. Marie chapter. The guy who ended up getting the 5 years for it, he was from down south, and yeah, so he ended up getting the nickel out of it. I don't think anyway. I think they usually cut some sort of deal. So I'll stand up and plead guilty to this, and you cut my co-accused loose, and we'll all go on with our business, right? So that was a crazy one. I thought I'd run it by you, see if you guys had ever heard that story before. And there's lots and lots of them. I'll keep bringing them to you as I remember them. I'm going to talk about that one, I think, from Windsor. Somebody in the chat mentioned last week, the week before. Hey, let's go back to our chat. I heard a rumor Forgotten Angels members is going to start a charity here in Canada. I don't know what is Forgotten Angels. Is it a motorcycle association like a MC or an RC or something like that? It sounds like it's probably a charity thing by the way you worded it, which is good. That's the stuff I like to cover. Is the good stuff bikers do, right? Like I say, these are my once a week stories because let's be honest, it's not riding season anymore. I don't have any bike nights to tell you about. I don't have too many two-wheeled charity events going on right now to talk about, and I still want to do a show every night. Okay, that's cool. Love your stories. Well, and see, the best stories are the ones that are coming off of my memory, right? I've been told these stories by another guy who might have been in the club at that time or was told about it by, these are handed down clubhouse 3 a.m. stories, right? Those are the best ones. We had one brother here in my chapter, man. He was one of the legends, right? He was 20 some years in when I came around. And he was running the chapter actually when I came down around, right? He was the dude, man. And we would stand there, and after the rush and the riffraff and the regulars are friends, don't call them riffraff, but the big crowd at the clubhouse had gone home on a Friday night, and it was down to 6 or 8 of us, or 6 club guys and a couple good tight friends. He'd start telling old biker stories, and this guy was so funny. Oh, God love you, brother. Good Times was his name. He was the best, man. They could have made 1,000,000 movies out of him and written 100 books about him, and they still wouldn't have covered all the shit that he had done, man. He was a fucking good dude, but those are my favorite stories, man. 100%. No, I know it ain't all the way over, Steve, but like I said earlier, you're not going to jump on your bike knowing you got a 3-hour one-way trip. right now. You know what I mean? You're gonna camera it around town, fuck yeah, or maybe a half hour down the highway, but you're not gonna go for no 3 hour ride in this weather. Glare 1%er, good to see you, brother. Thanks for dropping in, man. You missed my story though, unfortunately, bro. Now I'm down here just chatting with the chat, which I like doing also. It's a story you heard from 76. The Wawa one? No, it didn't happen in 76, the Wawa one. You might have heard a different version of, or a different story of the same sort of events, because these guys are fucking funny, right? And, shit like that's been going on for years and years and from one end of the province to the other. That's why I figured I'll start doing these old stories. And these are basically Canadian stories, right? So my friends from the United States who haven't heard these stories before, it'll be their first time hearing them, and they'll have a laugh too. Oh, you know what? You got to send me that one if you don't mind. Send that one to me in Messenger or something, Angel Face. I would love to do that story. And see, we've had armed force guys, biker brawl stories in our city too. I remember when the snowbirds used to come and do the air show, they would always come to the strip joint where I worked. And the strip joint is where I met the motorcycle club guys. And then I ended up befriending them and then going, holy shit, I like this life, and joining the club, right? And had to do all the same as everyone else. I had to probate my way in. I had to, buy my own bike, have my own income, all that shit that comes with it. I've done it. I've lived it. I've been there, done that. And proud of myself, I done it, because a lot of people were, they start and they don't get through it. It's not easy. It's not for the weak at heart. I'll fucking tell you that. You remember the beef, Jay? That was my joint, man. That was my joint. I pretty much, well, I didn't run it, but I pretty much ran that joint. That bar bought me a bike, down payment on a house. Had a great time at that bar. Found my ex-wife, sorry. So maybe that wasn't a great thing, but, live and learn. Yeah, if you want to send the link, Angel Face, that'd be great. Whatever it takes to get it. But yeah, I seem to recall stories like that. When you prospect stories, they didn't treat me too crazy as a prospect. But, I did get the one inevitable, 4 a.m. phone call from one of the brothers who wasn't really a brother that came around the clubhouse, like when we were open to the public on Friday and Saturday, or when we were having our friends over. He liked to hang out with his brothers, and he took me into the club rather seriously. He was on the road a lot. Of course, I knew him because I've been hanging around for a while. Oh yeah, it's true, VP Mike. So one night I finally get the call from him, 4 a.m, and he's like, hey, I need, whatever it was. And, a bottle of booze, a pack of smokes. He didn't smoke though. But anyways, it was always just a silly item to get you over there. And then, when you get over there, that's when, that particular member, that's what he's got in his mind. He's sizing you up. He's having an everyday conversation with you to see what kind of dude you are, and doing all that stuff, man. And it was, I knew what was going on. I was quite like, fuck yeah, man. This guy does respect me. That's fucking wicked, because that's such a big part of it, man. Your brother's got to respect you, or, what the hell you doing there? Oxford and Talbot, the old forum. Yeah, forgive me, I was never part of an MC. I was never an old lady. I'm just a simple writer. Well, that's all right, too. This place is good for that, too. I'm just letting you know, because I lived it, right? So because I lived it, I thought there's no reason I shouldn't sit here and talk about it. And now, yeah, that's it, Glare. It's exactly what it was. We had that 3-4 hour conversation, bro, and I loved it, man. And he was one of them brothers that every time you were with him, you learned something from him about being in a club, about club life. He was more on the strategy and stuff like that, and how to keep your head up, how to point out trouble inside of, he was that guy, right? I loved him for that. Yeah, mud checkers, yeah. He was a guy that kind of explain to us how to stay alive in a crazy time. Yeah, the beef had a shower show. Yeah, the forum I think had a shower too. Man, I used to get the girls doing some pretty crazy things in the beef pairing. We won't talk about it. We're a mixed company, but yeah, man, it was quite a trip. The strip joints are a world unto themselves, and like the customers are like regulars. It's weird. Eh? These guys come in and they talk to the same girls in there every fucking night and spend their paychecks and come right back the next fucking night and do it again. And then the girls got the boyfriend, of course, right? And then the boyfriend's usually a dude that don't work or one of us bikers or something. Oh man, it's a crazy little world within itself. I'm surprised nobody ever picked up on that essence and did a movie or a little series about it, right? Because it's definitely fucking crazy. Did I take kindness to weakness? You got that right, Mike. I didn't even talk as much. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, and like I say, and then that kind of motorcycling stuff, um, I am interested in. Now, of course, when they do an event, if there's like a big, I ran some stories from Calgary about the city was closing down a well-established dirt bike track so they could build some apartments on the land. And it was like kind of downtownish from what I recall of the story. So like, yeah, if I see stories like that, I run them and shit like that, right? And so that's what I try to do with the channel. I can't kind of keep it open for all sort of bikers. So you don't got to be a 1% or Harley tattoo kind of person. Although if you are, you'll feel welcome here too, right? So it just depends on who you are. And I try to make it so that everybody will enjoy it that way. Got my sponsor in trouble for working too hard at a run. And old army chick is always to move. Purpose and check the trash cans. I was told many times, take a break, be a military. We taste our food last or later. Yeah, yeah. I was told at a couple of big events, hey, go and fucking sleep, man. You're allowed to sleep. Oh, okay. You're all kind of in a fucking in a fog anyway. But a lot of times when you're probating and there's all those out of town guys and maybe even guys from other countries, your adrenaline's keeping you there anyway. And let's face it, most probates or prospects are younger men, and I could do that shit in my 20s. I could stay up for a day or three in my 20s without any chemical stimulation. You know what I mean? Make sure you got insurance for glass. What do you guys got? Some hail coming your way? Yeah, that one. That one. Yeah, so I did a story on that one, and I'll do stories. Once in a while, I saw at the bike show there was a place just north of Toronto, and they teach kids how to ride dirt bikes. And I think if you can afford it, that's a fucking great way to keep your kids out of trouble. Is to get them on a little dirt bike and get them to an open field, and let him spend his time learning how to fucking ride. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way. If you're not one of those sit at the hockey rink at 5 a.m. people, maybe that'd be a better fit for you and your kid, right? Yeah, me too. So, so yeah, guys. So that's what I want to talk about today. What did you guys think of that video of the drunk guy at Biketoberfest, and then the guy let him ride away, and then apparently he got in a bad wreck, and he's in the hospital now. Did you guys see that one? That was kind of a weird show. I don't know if I got time to find it. Maybe I'll have a quick look for it here on Facebook. It's a creator. Fuck, I gotta remember his name. What's that creator guy? Yeah, 43 and you're prospecting now, eh, bro? Yeah, you're be having a hard time. But yeah, you did it a time or two. What was that? You prospected a time or two? I think once during my career in the club, yeah, one time they came along and took my patch and gave me back a probate patch for the night of a party, and all the out of town guys were there and shit. And It's embarrassing, right? Stop, George. Stop, buddy. Yeah, you got that right. You got that right, Angel Face. Watch hill climbing. And I had some guys who run a flat track in Welland, Ontario, Welland County MC, on for an interview. Great people. I'm got to get up to their track next summer and watch one of those flat track races, man. Those guys look pretty fun, man. I think his guy's responsibility to make sure you didn't ride on one video. Yeah, so that's the tape I was talking about, Claire. That's the one, bro. The guy being the tape wasn't his responsibility. He'd offer maneuver. I think to be able to give him a hard time for, not getting physical with him, keep him off his bike. Yeah, and I heard a bunch of people say that, oh, I'd have knocked him off his bike, or I'd have pulled his keys, or, well, no, you wouldn't have. You know what I mean? When a guy's fucking, what are you doing? You fucking dog? Oh, you fucking asshole. We got a dog who's going to be in trouble when I get off this. He watered my floor, and it ain't his time to go out yet. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Now, that guy who rode away, and this is going to be the worst part of the whole damn story, is when he heals up, he's going to sue the bar that served him to that spot. He's going to sue the event organizers for not having security at that spot. Watch the floor. And he's going to probably sue that guy who had the fucking camera, because he's on there. He's on the fucking video, right? What a stupid bunch of shit. Now, if that's how the liability works in the United States, up here in Canada, he'd be able to sue all them fuckers. Not saying he'd win, but he could file suit. No, he shouldn't have put that online. And see, I only saw the part of the video where the guy's sitting up on his bike, and it looks like he's thinking about backing it out. And I thought, and then the video ends. So I thought, well, good. Maybe somebody stopped the guy and he put it back down on his kickstand, right? Because he was trying to ride away with his kickstand down, right? And that's what happens when we get into this world. And instead of showing class, he thought about clicks, right? So we get into the social media world, and you're trying to run one of these, trying to run one of these channels, and you're trying to get some money out of your channels and your videos, and all of a sudden, class is a secondary part of your decision, and clicks is all your whole decision, right? That's what I think anyway. So probably any other time the guy wouldn't have, but he's got a channel and he's looking for clicks. So yeah, but you know what? That guy, I forward a lot of his video clips onto my group and all that. He throws out some not bad material, to be honest with you. So he kind of didn't have to scoop that low if he didn't want to. That's kind of one of my thoughts on it, because he's got plenty of followers and all that. GB. All right, dudes. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I was just having a quick look on the other monitor, see if there's any stuff coming up. But I'm going to do the events on Friday. The interview with the insurance lady. I started talking about the interview, and then I forgot. The insurance lady's going to come on. Carrie Lynn. God damn it. Carrie Lynn. And she's going to come on. She also rides in a riding club, an all-female riding club. And then she's going to give some pointers on hopefully help people save a little bit of money on their bike insurance. She's a broker full-time. And maybe your first steps or two if you happen to be injured in a bike wreck. And then there's some steps you got to do right away on that side of the world too. So depending if you're buying insurance for your bike or if you've been unfortunate and you've been in a wreck. What is it? If I'm not at the clubhouse, I only have 2 drinks. Well, you got to when you're being a prospect, right? They say you don't have to, and nobody owns you. But I did that too. I didn't drink too much the whole time I was being a probate. There's a time and place for that. There's a motorcycle channel from Southern Ontario, username Moto Alley. He's starting to do live as well if anyone is interested. Interesting. I'll have to check him out too. Yeah, so that's my plan for next summer. I'll be hitting the events on 2 wheels with a hopefully a GoPro or something similar, right? And saying hello to the people who are there, and tracking down the host of the events and all that, seeing if I can get a quick interview with them. And we'll be going live a lot more. And Monday to Friday, I'll be here inside behind the desk through the winter. And I'll find something to talk about every day. I always do. You know, it's prospect. Yeah, see, that's a better way to go. Because you can't go driving down the street to go pick up whatever or whoever and get stopped by the cops, smell booze on you, and next thing you know, you're doing the standing on your tiptoes stupid thing on the side of the road. They don't got time for that. And same with weed. And same with weed. And unfortunately, same with weed as far as the smell goes when they stop you. But you know, I switched over my years. I don't drink at all anymore. I just smoke. It might fuck up my memory a little bit here and there, but that's about the worst of it. Oh, and hey, in case you weren't here yesterday, I started my teaching job. So I'm teaching my trade. I'm an HVAC guy, heating and cooling guy, right? I own my own business, which has been slow as fuck for a year or so, and it's killing me. But I got a teaching job teaching the trade at a college. So my first day was yesterday. It's part-time for now, and then they'll find me more hours as I get more into it. So I'm pretty excited about that. And unfortunately, they don't need me back till next Monday, but it is what it is. My foot's in the door. I'm in the union, and I have an employee ID number, so I'm official, man. So again, guys, that's what I got today. Sorry, I just keep hanging around and chatting with the chat, but that's what I do. You know what I mean? Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, bro. I always stand around and chat with the chat for a bit. Why not? You guys took your time to come here. I'll take the time to talk to you guys. Prospects can have a drink if it's offered, but it's better if they don't. Exactly. You must sound like you almost sound like you're in the same club or something, bro. Ron Bob, glad to hear you got called in. Thanks, Lulu. I appreciate that. I don't drink anymore. When I did, it was when I was alone or with somebody. Well, I'm glad you had it narrowed down to those things, though, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, Vanguard prospects, Mike. It's we got to make sure there's enough tradesmen in our own country. There's always going to be some jobs that are always going to be plumbers, electricians, and heating and cooling guys. Always going to be needed. So I was actually starting to think about starting my own trade school, but this is a much easier fucking way to do it. Go teach at an established college, and that's the college that I got my tickets at. So I know the place. Go stream. I think you're having me here this evening. I'm actually riding this weekend. Plus 16 in Calgary. Good for you guys. Is it an organized ride? So listen, if you know of any organized stuff that's going on in Alberta, become a member of the Facebook group. And then anything that you know about, share it on the wall of the Facebook group. It's called Biker News Canada. And then when I see it on the wall of the Facebook group, I put it into a video. So any sort of biker event anywhere in Canada, once it gets posted into my Facebook group, I'll save it and I'll put it into a video at some point that week before the event, right? And then that's my part. Well, the thing is all of a sudden that brother wants to have a drinking buddy. Maybe he's the last guy up. I've seen that happen to probates before. He's the last guy up, and he wants to test the new guy. And so now all of a sudden you're in some sort of crazy drink off with this patch guy who's been awake for 2 days, and somehow he's still going, right? Well, we know how. But anyways, you know, and then in the morning, he's in all sorts of shit because he's not ready, right? But yeah, Angel Face, absolutely. I'd be happy too, man. I'd be happy to be able to ride and go jump on the bike right now. But yeah, it does happen, eh, Jordan? It happens. That sort of shit happens. I didn't even think about it till then. My patch-in day, I had a feeling they're going to want me. Oh, absolutely, bro. You don't go home that night till the sun's coming up, man. And it's so cool when your brother's just taking a piece of jewelry off his hand and you're putting on your hand, that's a big fucking sign of, wow, man, I did something. Another form of mud checking. Yeah. So you've seen that too, Blair, where the one guy who's still up, and there's one or two prospects that he picks one of them to drink with and the other one to serve. And they got to fucking stay up till he's going to bed or figure out some way to convince him it's probably bedtime. And you better do that with a whole bunch of delicacy. Yes, some guys are just doing that to fuck with you, but they'll bring it up the next day. Everything gets brought up the next fucking day. So I've seen some funny shit happen to the prospects, probates, whatever you want to call them along the way. Please could join me. We all need a wind therapy. I know, I do. I need some heavy wind therapy. I've been 2 summers. I sold my Street Glide. I'm fucking sad every day about it. Yeah, then he wakes up on his office gold is he was Mr. fucking Charity that day. Woo! Here the bro, have that, bro. Oh fuck. Hey, thank you, Vinny. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, that's going to be my career. I'm going to keep the business open because, you know, when it's not busy, it makes good money. Or when it's not slow, I mean, it makes good money. So I can keep it going. And this teaching's only part-time anyway. So it's going to be multiple income streams. And hopefully one of these days, I'll start hitting some sponsors on this channel in the Facebook group. Someone told me she's going to show me how to monetize the Facebook group. I didn't know it was a thing. It's not much, but it's something. And all them things added together will end up being, you know, what I need, right? And I want to find a log company or someone to buy me a bike to ride for the summer, next summer. And at the end of the summer, either I buy it off them or we raffle it for a good charity. So I'm going to put some emails out to some law firms anywhere in Canada. It doesn't matter where they are. It'd be nice to have one. There are times that I've had to put a member to bed, told them they had to be ready for the ride next day. They was at 11. Did he go? Man, I seen some of the old cats, man. They would give them new dudes a fuck of a hard time. All right. Thanks, Jordan. Have a great night, brother. Okay, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. Much love and respect. Thanks, everyone, for dropping in and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, please, if you will, on the way out. Like, share, and subscribe, all that good shit. Absolutely. The more the merrier, Angel Face. Yeah. And if ever you got a little group and you got something you want to talk about, let me know. I'll bring you on for an interview. I do interviews on Thursdays at 8. So if you got a subject in your mind you want to talk about and you want to get up on the camera, let me know. We'll make it happen. All right. You have a great night, Prospect Mike. Enjoy yourself, brother. That's right, Mark. Bring all your friends. Thanks, Claire. Good night. Thank you, Rob, for watching. Thank you, brother. Redneck Motorcycle Whip. Much love, bro. Much love to you. Thanks for dropping in. Steve, thank you as well. And Angel Face, thank you as well. And Mark too. And Hook Dog. Oh, and Mountain Woman. I hope you were here for the whole show. And that's it. And Steve, again, Jordan. I feel like I missed somebody. Jay, I missed. Thanks for popping in, Jay. And Mark. And that's what I got. So thank you guys. Much love. And we'll see y'all again tomorrow. Good night.